Most people think retirement is a reward, a finish line, a moment where life finally begins. But what if the thing we're all racing toward is quietly breaking people? Let me start with a pattern that almost nobody talks about. A man works his entire adult life. He does exactly what he's told, saves consistently, avoids lifestyle creep, pays off his home, builds a solid nest egg. When he finally steps away from his job, everyone congratulates him. Family, coworkers, friends, you made it. Enjoy your freedom. And for a little while, he does. No alarm clock, no deadlines, no boss, just time. But time, it turns out, is dangerous when it has nowhere to go. Weeks blur together. Days lose edges. Mornings stop having a reason. The hobbies that felt exciting at first slowly lose their pull. The social contact that used to happen automatically at work disappears without being replaced. Conversations shrink. Stimulation fades. The mind quiets in a way that isn't peaceful. It's empty. And then something strange happens. Health starts slipping faster than it should. Mood drops. Memory dulls. Motivation evaporates. Doctors start showing up in the calendar more often than friends do. This isn't a rare story. It's common. Uncomfortably common. Large-scale research across multiple countries shows the same trend again and again. People often decline fastest in the first few years after they stop working. Not because of age alone, but because something essential is removed all at once. We weren't built for sudden purposelessness. Here's the part that makes people defensive. It's not leisure that hurts us. It's unstructured, meaningless leisure. For most of human history, there was no concept of "I'm done now." People contributed until they physically couldn't. And when they stopped contributing, life usually ended soon after. The idea that a human being can simply switch off responsibility for decades is extremely new, and our biology hasn't caught up. Your brain doesn't just want comfort, it wants demand. Your nervous system doesn't just want rest, it wants engagement. And work, even imperfect work, quietly supplies things we don't notice until they're gone. It gives shape to time. It forces social interaction. It demands problem solving. It provides feedback. It answers the question, why should I get up today? When all of that disappears overnight, the body doesn't celebrate. It panics. This is why researchers consistently find higher rates of depression, faster cognitive decline, and worse physical outcomes among people who fully disengage, especially when that disengagement happens abruptly. But here's where the conversation usually goes wrong. People hear this and think the message is, never retire, work until you drop, suffer forever. That's not the lesson. The real distinction, the one that changes everything, is this. There is a massive difference between stopping work and removing necessity. Most people aim for retirement. What they actually need is financial independence. Retirement is about absence. No job, no schedule, no obligation. Financial independence is about choice. You don't have to work for money, which means you get to work for meaning. The money math is the same in both cases. The life outcomes are not. Someone with enough assets to cover their needs can walk away from a job they hate and still build, teach, mentor, create, contribute, explore. They keep challenge without coercion, structure without pressure, purpose without fear. That combination is powerful. In fact, many people report that work becomes more enjoyable once it's optional. The stress drops, the ego softens. Curiosity replaces survival. You don't cling. You don't endure. You choose. And choice changes how the brain experiences effort. The danger zone isn't work. The danger zone is nothingness. When days stop demanding anything from you, your systems downshift. When no one needs you, motivation erodes. When nothing pushes back, the mind weakens. That's why the people who thrive later in life usually aren't the ones who finally stopped. They're the ones who redirected their energy into something that mattered to them personally, often something they never had time for before. Teaching, volunteering, building projects, learning hard things, caring for others, creating different activities. Same pattern. So the real question isn't, when can I stop working? It's, what will I move toward when I no longer have to work for money? If you can't answer that, you're planning an exit without a destination. And that's where people get lost. If you're serious about your future, you don't just plan your finances, you plan your purpose infrastructure. You build an identity that isn't tied to a job title. You develop relationships that don't depend on coworkers. You practice doing difficult, engaging things that stretch your mind. You experiment with activities that give you energy instead of draining it, not later. Now, because purpose isn't something you download after your last paycheck. It's something you grow slowly, long before you need it. Here's the reframe that actually works. The goal is not to reach a point where nothing is required of you. The goal is to reach a point where only the right things are required of you. When people imagine retirement as escape, they often end up trapped. When they imagine financial independence as freedom to contribute on their own terms, they stay alive, mentally, socially, biologically. Humans don't decay because they age. They decay because they disengage. Money can buy you time. Only purpose tells your body what to do with it. If this changed how you think about work, money, or the future, stick around. This channel exists to question the assumptions we're all told to accept, especially the ones that quietly cost us our health. I'll see you next time.